evening, folks. Welcome to yet another late night live stream here on the D-Haw channel. Tonight, it's time for more Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. This time in the courtroom. We shall be continuing to defend our dear friend, Maya Fey. And the Wright file is this one. So, we left off in the middle of this, trying to figure out Rafa's insight. I do believe this is the second go at it, because we figured out that the footsteps were off. Here's wind, seas, Kira, bells, incense, water, pain. Feels water first. Let's see what Rafa says. Bowing to the lanterns. Bow. Bow. Okay. Then he reads the sutra. Suddenly, he rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the springside lantern. By the springside lantern. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. Huh. Let's check out our court record here. Let's see the layout of the place. Maybe that is important. Gotta have a map somewhere, right? Here we go. Springside Lantern. M and T. Right, so M is Maya. T is Tarust. Broken lantern. Let's look at the lanterns, because we know one of them is broken, so if we can see that the other one is not lit, then we know she's right. So that one is still lit, yeah. Wind. Let's see. It's Maya. Let's see. First, he verified that both lanterns were lit, so one on the left and one on the right. Okay, so at this point in time, both were lit. Good to know. Now, reading it, he looks up. Wind. He only looked at the right side, but let's see here. Broken lantern on the right. Yeah, that seems to check out. The lantern on the... If he was facing away from the fountain, then he wouldn't have seen that light on the right. So we probably know that he's facing the way that it's shown here in the picture. Let's see. Feels pain. Fade to black. Vision dimmed till finally he passed. I don't think there's a problem with these last two. My problem is with this statement. Fight her off by the spring side lantern. How would he try to fight her off by the lantern? It's not very close to the lantern now, is it? Sense bells, water. Yeah, it's more by the water. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do here. I mean, you could argue that the water is also by the lantern, but I think the distinction is different enough, right? I'm gonna try that. I have the help for it. So I think where you have to select the water. Okay, let's do this.
Objection!
I don't think I got it. Your benevolence, isn't this statement inconsistent with the vision? Oh my god, I'm gonna get roasted again. Inconsistent? I think not. Exactly. That's where the inconsistency lies. What are you saying, Phoenix? Oh, but I believe it is in the defense's thought process that the inconsistency lies. I guess there wasn't an inconsistency there after all. What are they trying to go for here? I'm not sure. These two are right. This... I mean, this could be it. Let's see when he feels pain. Feels pain when he runs up to the figure. That seems about right. Let's see the autopsy. What does that say? Blood loss from a deep abdominal wound. The wound appears to have been inflicted by the warbad dagger used in the right. Okay. Blood loss. 2 to 3 a.m. I don't think that's an issue here. You know, he felt water, and then there's also a bunch of missing snow here. Maybe the water is melted snow. And that wouldn't explain all the blood on the statue there. I feel like the flickering lantern is also important. Maybe the lantern really is on the other side. Wind. There was something else. Let's see. This one is tough. Wind. Incense. Here's incense. Or it smells incense. Here's bells. So the way his hands are moving is so weird. This doesn't seem like rushing the victim, but I don't think this is what we need to worry about. Because we really only need to, actually, no. We can't select site. Try to fight her off by the Springside Lantern. Maybe it's just because that we can't see the lantern here? Maybe that's the problem? I mean, it's not really that close to the lantern.
Objection!
Nope. I'm a fraud. I'm a fake and a fraud. Phoenix, you're washed up. Let's try to look through everything. Let's see what we have. Spring water was already stained red, apparently. Let's see. It plays the theme when I inspect it. Okay. You know, I think I needed this. High priest staging area. Priestess. Ah, here we go. So here we have a Wright's guide, right? So if he was... if it was like this, then it wouldn't line up. Or do we already disprove that? Are we not there yet? Oh my god, what am I trying to do here? Trying to find her off at the Springside Lantern. Bow to Lantern 1, bow to Lantern 2. Was the lantern already broken by the time he did that? I feel like it wouldn't be broken before. The entrance was shut during the rite. It's the broken lantern photo. Broken wind guard. Maybe the fact that there is... lantern that was able to be blown out. Maybe that's the issue. So maybe he fought her off from an opposite lantern. I knew something was off about that. I know what I'm doing. Let's see. Do we select sight or do we select sound? I feel like the fact that we can see the lantern getting blown out is a little more pressing.
Objection!
Bingo. Your benevolence, I found a new contradiction. You did? No doubt it is but another of your vile attempts to slander my insights. Nope. Take a good look at what the victim saw. It just might change your mind. The lantern flame behind the accused was flickering. There was nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind had stirred. No, that's where you're wrong. If the accused had been standing in the spring, then what you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue. I fail to see your point. My point is, something is wrong here. The two lanterns flanking the statue were both outfitted with glass wind guards, so neither lantern's flame should have been flickering in the wind in the first place. Owned. Heh. What do you mean, heh? That's all you have? She seems pretty tickled, Nick. Nickled, even. I don't remember saying anything funny. I fail to see what you wish to prove here, but very well. I shall refine the vision and reveal the truth for all to see. What? You could have just done that in the first place? Oh, blessed Mitama, I beseech you, fix your sight upon the lantern there. Open your eyes. Enhance. Huh? That lantern does not have a wind guard on it. And rightly so. For the wind guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within for the rite of fire. Do you need to remove a wind guard to reveal the flame if the guard is clear already? Guards are made of glass, Rafa. Therefore, there is nothing odd about the flame flickering. Say what? But when we searched the crime scene, those lanterns had their wind guards on. That's because the police put them back on. The sacred flames have burned uninterrupted for hundreds of years, Defense. We cannot risk them being extinguished even during an investigation. That would never fly back home. Well, Barbtan, are you done quibbling? If so, then it is time to bow down before this testimony of the Mitama. Nick. Don't worry, Maya. I'm just getting started. Alright, let's go everything we know so far. Maya was wearing Lady Kira's robes and standing in the spring. The High Priest is thought to have been moving toward her. So I should look for sensations that stand in contradiction to this arrangement. Agreed. I won't give up. I'm going to find a contradiction that will undermine the accusation against Maya. So, what I just did, was that an optional thing? Okay, now we enhance more. Lantern on the left, lantern on the right. Lantern looks kind of fucked up. Hold on. Yeah, that lantern looks like broken, doesn't it? Hold on. Yeah. See the little, the base of it? The flower kind of thing? Some of the petals are broken off. Let's see what else we can see. If he was facing the other way, then that means the Wright's guide. It means the way that he's facing here is correct. I don't think they'd fuck up the ritual like that. So, the water he must have felt might have been melted snow or something. For some reason, he's facing this way. Incense, water, pain. Okay. Do I select this here? Bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra. So here it seems like the lantern magically repaired itself. However, don't know if he spun around somehow. Because the sutra took up the entire FOV. Let me read the Wright guide first. High priest reads scripture while a priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira. Okay. Priestess enters the spring dressed as Lady Kira. The high priest purifies both Lady Kira and her dagger. Yeah, that's obviously the broken lantern. So he supposedly switched sides. Now, wind, incense, bells. None of the sensations changed, so I'm sure I have to select the lantern. I'm gonna go with my gut here. Bow to number 1. And bow to number 2. Alright, let's try this.
Objection!
Okay. I'm not crazy. What could this possibly mean? That lantern clearly contradicts the insight. But this contradiction will overturn the entire case I've been building. Are you alright, Mr. Wright? One minute you shout out, and the next you fall silent. OMG, a hit tweet. Perhaps it is like the bellow of one who is barreling down a hill with no way of stopping. Is that not right, Prosecutor Sadmati? He knows. Or does he? Does he know? Don't get cold feet now, Phoenix. Even if this overturns the entire case you've built so far, the only way is to keep moving forward. That's because that's where we'll find the truth. Sorry, but I'm not barreling down a hill. In fact, I'm in full control of everything with the indisputable contradiction I found. Is that so? The lantern behind the accused clearly, no, blatantly contradicts your insight. Does it now? One of the lanterns on the entrance side of the inner sanctum was broken. And if you watch what Abbot Inmi saw in his final moments, you will notice that the lantern behind the praying form of Miss Fey is broken. The lantern behind Lady Kira, however, is still intact. Short, we are seeing two different lanterns in the seance vision. How could this be? Even if it were so, how would that contradict my insights? I don't know, but it does. Let me start by saying, the claim I'm about to raise will overturn the case I've built thus far. Will the defense please explain himself? Based on the broken lantern, we can tell Maya and Abbot Emmy's positions? Lantern positions. No, this one. Where the accused and the victim were standing. Did you not just finish asserting that the accused was standing somewhere else? I did, and I built my argument on that faulty premise. But thankfully, it has led us here, to the actual spot where Maya Fey was standing. Thanks, Rafa. Maybe you aren't so useless after all. I must say, the defense keeps changing its assertions in such a capricious manner. Its credibility may come into question. Look, I work with what I have. I'm willing to take that risk, Your Majesty, because I believe this will be the last time. I'd like to start by pointing out the actual spot where the accused was standing. Very well. Just where you now believe the accused was actually standing. Where's Maya really standing? Yeah, like right here. Will this work?
Take that!
Change your position based on new information? Sus? You're right, Zaya. As we all know, you must be stubborn and never change your opinions or positions on anything. New information be damned. You know, changing position is just like bandwagoning, honestly. Like, what are you doing? Trying to ride trends? No, the victim had stepped into the spring. Wait until these guys discover the scientific method. Well, they'll get there. They'll get there. That means Maya Fey had to have been standing in the water as he approached. However, his memory, which has only now become clear, reveals that Miss Fey was standing by the side of the broken lantern. Hold on, let me reread that real quick. Victim had stepped in the spring. Yes, okay. In other words, she was standing where she was supposed to be according to custom. Does that not bring us back to the very beginning? No. This is where things take a different turn. And I mean that literally. The victim had to have been moving toward the spring. That means that while he was moving, he had his back turned toward the accused. What's this? Did you mean to say the victim turned around during the rite? Exactly. Yeah, I was talking about this. I know what I'm doing. He did a little spin while he was looking down. But such an image appears nowhere in the seance vision. It's because he was looking at the fucking paper the whole time. Actually, it does appear. Just that no one noticed until now. No one noticed? How could no one have noticed something so big? Pause. There was a moment when the scripture the victim was holding was all we could see. Thanks to that, none of us could tell that he was in fact turning around in that moment.
Objection!
If it is as the defense asserts, that her benevolence's insights no longer make sense. Indeed. How do you intend to explain that?
Objection!
They don't make sense because she's a fraud. I don't need to explain anything, because it's just as you said, Prosecutor Sadmati. Her benevolence's insights don't make any sense because they contain a huge error. It's such insolence. Rafa, you need to like turn up your FOV. That shit's at like 70 or something. Don't you know? Like 100 at least is the new cool. You need to up the specs of your pool, I guess. Slap a 4090 in that bad boy. A huge error, you say? Do explain. Huge error is the number of people there, I believe. I believe this is what happened at the scene of the crime. The victim was reading a suture when suddenly he sensed someone behind him. He immediately looked to see someone dressed as Lady Kira standing there. Wishing to see who it was, he approached the robed figure. Arr! That's when he was stabbed. I don't know what sound I just made. That's the sound of him getting stabbed. This cannot be. Oh, but it can. And it is. The insight stating the accused stabbed the victim is wrong. And that is the real truth lying behind this testimony of the dead. Oh. Oh. Polkunka! Yeah, Polkunka'd. Are you suggesting that there was someone else at the scene of the crime? Yeah. I misunderstood. The voice of the Miss Mitama? Yet again? This cannot be. Oh, the dramatic faint. Yeah, that was a close one. I should divine the true meaning behind the Sans mission somehow. You know, Phoenix, maybe you should, like, move here. You can be the new, High Priestess. I'm sure you'd rock Rafus' outfit. There's probably a fan art of that somewhere, right? Maybe. Should add these new facts to the court record. Don't make you look it up. Look, I'm not making you do anything, but I know you will. I know you feel the call of the void. I don't have to say anything. You will look it up. Results inconclusive. Okay, well, there you go, folks. Unexplored territory. Free for the picking. I won't even ask for compensation, alright? Ready for concept art. Your benevolence, please allow me to take it from here. I will overturn the brass accusations of this faithless, putrid-minded lawyer. Yes, I shall place my trust in you. There she goes. Are you sure about this, Prosecutor Sadmati? My work as an international prosecutor has taken me to courtrooms around the world. I need water. It's cool. Maybe I should look it up eventually. Put that on the to-do list. Concept art usually doesn't show spoilers, right? And in that time, I have learned to perform last rites for souls in trials lacking a seance. Yes, of course. Forgive my ludicrous inquiry. Moreover, I have with me a forensic investigator from overseas. I will show you all the most magnificent last rites ever seen. He really does think highly of Emma and her forensic expertise. I'm impressed that he's come to understand their value. And again, power of science. He is an international prosecutor who's solved tough cases around the world. Time to look her down, huh? Now then, let us continue with today's proceedings. Could the defense please tell us who the third party dressed as Lady Kira was? Your new claim has negated the insights of the royal priestess. So I trust you have some evidence to support it, correct? Yes, of course. Do I? The third party must have really wanted to kill the high priest. I'll be able to identify who it was, if I have evidence of the murderous intent. Well, good thing I do. I have this, Literally this. Do not perform the rite. I know what you are planning. Lady Kira. It's that easy. Well, we're waiting, Mr. Wright. The evidence that can reveal the identity of the third party is this.
Take that!
3 days before the purification rite, the victim received a warning letter from an unidentified individual. What is this? Calling card, Persona 5? Whoever sent it clearly meant to threaten the High Priest. The letter said, do not perform the rite. The rite went on as scheduled. I believe that is why the High Priest was murdered. Who do you suppose sent that letter? The person is someone with something to hide. The rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira herself. That's new. That's a new gasp sound effect. Peace. Peace. I guess that's what they say here. I like to imagine the judge like doing the peace sign with his hand. Peace. I don't understand. I've heard the Lady Kira that has been in the news of late only hunted rebels. If so, why would she have killed the High Priest? Judge, you can do the math. Put 2 and 2 together. Well, maybe you can't. Ace Attorney judges haven't been known to be the brightest. No offense. Excellent question. Maybe it would help to think of it this way. What if the High Priest had secretly been a rebel? This is Ace Attorney Trilogy or Apollo Justice. It's the standalone 3DS game. Ace Attorney's Spirit of Justice, which happens to be in the Trilogy collection that's available now. But I'm playing this on my very real 3DS. Wink, wink. The High Priest, a devout follower of Koreanism, a rebel. You even comprehend the blasphemy of which you speak. Well, do you? I too found it hard to believe at first. Pirating games again? No. How could you accuse me of such a thing? This is a legally dumped cartridge. The irony of me playing Ace Attorney in a legally dubious gray area. But as I continued my investigation, it started to become more and more plausible.
Objection!
The third party was rebel hunting Lady Kira, and the High Priest was a rebel. The mockery of Koreanism? No. The kingdom of Korean itself knows no bounds. Okay, to be fair, I think I started this game before the collection came out. Either that or I already beat Dual Destinies before the collection came out, and I already had this game. So, you know. Whoops. Shameless McClinkin lawyer is making a mockery of our religion. As a faithful Koreanist, I take issue with these claims. And I am loath to admit them into today's proceedings. I don't like where this is going. The defense's claims are but vile blasphemy tantamount to spitting on the Holy Mother. Is it really that big of a deal, Maya? I mean, that's like calling the Pope, I don't know, a devil worshiper, I suppose? I guess it's a little different because rebel implies political, like, enemy, right? But this is a theocracy, so I suppose in this country those are one and the same. But Imi was a distinguished monk and very well respected too, so yeah. Call the Pope worse things. Well, I don't think you should go to the Vatican. Fear not, good people of Kurin. The rantings of this putrid-brained lawyer who seeks to sully the soul of the deceased shall come to no avail once I conclude these last rites. Prosecution's assertion that the accused killed the victim remains unchanged. But the victim was stabbed in his abdomen. How was that possible when he had his back turned toward Miss Fey? Someone else must have killed him.
Objection!
Are you sure about that? You may have invalidated the seance, but do not let it go to your putrid head. The karmic flow of this trial is, as yet, still in my hands. How can it be so confident? Something has occurred to me, you see. And your allegations of a third party are but a deluded fantasy. And I shall prove that by calling a new witness to the stand. A witness? Who else was there to witness? An eyewitness will deliver a definitive answer that will dispel the defense's doubts. Excuse me? An eyewitness? Very well, let us call this eyewitness to the stand. Oh. Tim again. You know... Hold on. Hold that thought. Well, no, he has to be the shaggiest witness I ever laid eyes on. Like zoinks, dude. Please state your name and occupation. Well, I'm, that's so-and-so, whatchamacallit. The fact that he's hiding so much of his face with, well, not only his bandana or scarf, whatever, with that and his hair, I would not be surprised if he is. Okay, the nose structure is a little different. I don't think he's this guy. But where is the wanted poster? Escape prisoner alert. Do we have a wanted poster anywhere? Like any newspaper clipping? Here we go. That's a rebel. I would not be surprised if it's this guy. Anonymous TBD. Incredible. What are you doing, sir? What is this? Hidden form of martial arts. What do you even sound like? At least that's what they've been calling me. TBD, as in to be determined. Could you just tell us your real name? Shadow Puppet Dragon? Could be. It's like he's just trying to mimic a bird or something. The witness has suffered a blow to the head, rendering him amnesiac. Therefore, I named him Anonymous TBD. In my report, but he thinks TBD is part of his name.
Objection!
You're letting an amnesiac testify? Have no fear. I've already questioned him at length. While it is true he has utterly forgotten his name and past, his memory of what he witnessed is still very much intact. Considering the dearth of information, any new knowledge may be of help. Therefore, I will permit his testimony. Now, Mr. Emus, please tell us what you saw. The night of the murder. That night, I was up on the top of Mount Pony Pony, the mountain next to the Inner Sanctum. Okay, hold up. Mountain next to the Inner Sanctum? You were literally below the mountain. The other mountain, okay? So how could you have seen shit? I hate crowds, so I climbed up there to pray in peace. I know it's a no-no, but since there was no one around, I used my binoculars to spy on the right of the Inner Sanctum. That's when I saw the accused stab the High Priest with a dagger. There's no way you saw Miss Face stab the victim with a dagger. I swear I don't know what he's talking about, or I don't remember at any rate. Mount Pony Pony, this beautiful mountain that is also known as the Little Sanctum. Yep. They must be talking about that smaller mountain from the poster. Mr. Emus, I was wondering, what can I do you for? Inner Sanctum lies at a high elevation where clouds and fog can obscure the view. Are you sure you were able to see what happened from the mountaintop next to it? Good point. Wow, the judge actually has something valuable. His Majesty raises an excellent question. Well, Mr. Emus? On the day of the Wright, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I had a perfect view. You don't believe me? Check the weather forecast in the paper that day. Nick, don't we have the newspaper for that day? Yeah, let's take a look. Clear skies. Let's say calm, clear skies, doesn't it? See? Told you so. Well, it would appear the witness has offered testimony worth hearing. Mr. Emus, I too have a question for you. Didn't he already question the witness? Well, that's what I'm here for, right? Shoot. How was the accused holding the dagger? Okay, my issue is how he was able to see in the first place. There are these big-ass walls surrounding the entire Inner Sanctum, and he's on a elevation lower than the Sanctum elevation. Can we just point that out now, please? Yup, I believe she was. It's called the reverse grip. Ah, I thought as much.
Hold it!
Hold it right there. What bearing does that have on this case? Cease your interruptions, you putrid-headed lawyer. Do you not see the significance in how the blade was held? Why don't you enlighten me, O enlightened one? Phew, I knew you were a fool. I can already picture you in your next life. Next life? Yes, after your soul writhes for centuries in the pits of hell. You shall be reborn as a witless sea urchin, with barbs limited to your posterior. Oof. You shall live a short, inconsequential life, only to be brutally devoured by a sea otter. Man, could have at least given him the life of a porcupine, man. It was a bit excessive. I simply asked what the dagger grip had to do with the case. Now, pay attention. How the accused held the dagger is of vital importance. With such information, we can infer exactly what actions she took. You are saying that the victim was killed while he had his back to the accused. Is that correct? Yes. As such, the accused's dagger grip tells us something very important. The accused approached the victim from behind, swung her arms around him, and plunged the dagger deep into his abdomen, using a reverse grip. What? Thus, Mr. Amos's testimony clears up any doubts that might remain. I call bullshit. Ha ha ha, and it coincides with her benevolence's insights as well. This is a disaster. I thought I'd blown those insights out of the water, but now they're back to haunt me. Now then, the defense may cross-examine the witness. If you dare.
Hold it!
Are you sure you're not mistaken, Mr. Amos? Was it really Mount Pony Pony that you climbed? Oh, I'm sure of it. It was a really pony-ponyish mountain. What else does that even mean? You know, now that I think about it, it was a mighty fine view.
Hold it!
If you hate crowds, why bother climbing to the top? Couldn't you have just as easily been at the bottom of Mount Pony Pony? Wrong, bucko. This is a once-a-year epic event. I learned to pray as close to the actual thing as possible. You're so gung-ho about it, why didn't you go pray the Plaza of Devotion? Like I said, I hate crowds. I wanted to pray in peace. Oh, Holy Mother, why do I only get the annoying ones? My burning faith demanded that I climb the mountain closest to the inner sanctum. Also, this is the most sus animation I've seen.
Hold it!
Since nobody was around, there's nobody who can corroborate your actions either. Hee-ho! Exactly right. Wait, Jack Frost. Hee-ho? What are you doing here? In that case, Mr. Amos, let me ask you this. Was there a reason you didn't want to be seen? Oh, well, about that. If you get caught climbing the surrounding mountains on the day of the rite, you could get in big, big trouble. That's it? Yeah, totally embarrassing getting yelled at when you're a grown-up. Har 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 har. Yeah, you're a real grown-up, alright. Since nobody was around, I lost all inhibition and... Spine the right at the inner sanctum. You had a pair of binoculars with you? That's pretty convenient. You weren't planning to spine the right all along, were you? Actually, I just happen to have them for bird watching. Bird watching, huh? I see. You're not going to keep pressing him on this. sketchy as heck, but I don't really have anything I can really sink my teeth into yet. Oh, okay then. I love the great outdoors. That's just the kind of guy I am. The guy called Anonymous GBD. Caw. He's really starting to get on my nerves. As I looked through my binoculars, I couldn't believe what was unfolding before me. Okay. So what do we present on? Is it this one or the one before this?
Hold it!
Did you really see what you say you did? Are you saying I'm lying about this? Well, I'm not. It's permanently in this old noggin. But I didn't do what you say I did. I didn't even get a chance to touch the dagger on the day of the rite. What do I know about that? All I know is what I saw. I've never been seen you before in my life. Ugh. Okay, what did you just say? Possible reason could have to lie. Yeah. I didn't expect there to be any eyewitness way up there. But I don't remember doing that at all. I know, I have a feeling the witness is lying. I should take another look at the court record. Okay. Maybe this one, and then we present this.
Objection!
No? That's wrong? Why? Okay. Well, that sucked. Do we present on this then?
Objection!
No? How's that wrong? One health left. I'm so cooked. Ugh, just need to hang in there a little longer. Tab the hype use of the dagger. I already presented the mountain elevations. Like, what could be more clear than that? No idea. Maybe this? Probably the shut off thing.
Objection!
There we go. I didn't even need a save before that. Your Majesty, I had my doubts about this bushy-bearded witness. Now I know we can't trust him. What? You ain't just judging me solely on my bodacious beard, are you? Not at all, Mr. Emus. It's much more your sketchy appearance. More than your sketchy appearance. It's your sketchy testimony. His testimony, you say? Yes, recall how the inner sanctum was that day. Specifically, that it was completely enclosed by the ritual curtain. Oh yes, I believe you're right. The curtain would have completely blocked the witness's view from Mount Pony Pony. Therefore, he couldn't possibly have seen the murder happen. Mr. Emus, have you been knowingly making false statements at this court? He's sweating. You got me. The witness will lower his voice. I didn't actually see the accused herself. Wow, that's quite a bit different. He didn't actually see the accused himself. What's that supposed to mean? Let me set the record straight, I beg you. You remember this one giving you particular trouble? Well, I'm already at 1 life, and I feel like I still have so much more to go. Save here before I fuck up again. I think this might be another short stream tonight. I have another early day tomorrow, unfortunately. So there's shadowy silhouettes projected against the ritual curtain. Okay. Created by the light of the full moon on that clear and still night. It's just a shadow, but I could tell it was the accused reverse gripping that dagger. Shadows? That's what you saw? That's right. I could see what was going on by the shadows projected onto the ritual curtain. In the future, Mr. Emus, I would rather you offer up accurate testimony from the start. I wonder what their punishment for perjury in the kingdom of Cryene is. Oh, thank you for the water money. Water has never tasted so good. You think they do like eye for an eye here in Korean? If you do perjury, they'll like take a chunk of your tongue. Though he saw but shadows, it is still valuable testimony. You have to be kidding me. What are we going to do now, Nick? All I can think of is to look for inconsistencies between the actual Wright and what Mr. Emus says he saw. Well then, the defense may cross-examine the witness once more. Alright, we'll do this one and then we'll call it a night. I'm gonna save because, no, I just saved. Well, I'm gonna save again. Because it will never hurt. Only 3 statements. How hard could it be? Figures were created by the light of the full moon on that clear and still night. Light of the full moon? Okay, well, we have a full moon here. Is this diagram accurate to... The moon is directly over the summit of Mount Pony Pony. Ah, okay. So, if the moon, the light source, was directly over Mount Pony Pony, where Emus was standing, then the shadows wouldn't actually be cast on the curtain that he would be looking at, right? It would be on the opposite side. That's how light works, right? So, I mean, there you go. But, let's see, the last one is she was just a shadow, but I could tell it was the accused for gripping the shadow, the dagger. Okay, yeah, it's gotta be this.
Objection!
Easy. Don't even need a press. You saw silhouettes projected by the moonlight? Sorry, but that's just not possible. What do you mean? How is it not possible? That was totally possible. That's impossible. I think I'm going to need a logical ease translation on that. Let's take a look at this Wright's guide, shall we, Mr. Emus? The Wright is held when the moon is directly above the summit of Mount Pony Pony. Doot doot doot. Oh, this guy's just the worst witness ever. So if the moon was shining from the west, any shadows would have been cast eastward. Mr. Emus was standing to the west of the inner sanctum on Mount Pony Pony. Oh, holy mother! That's right. Our witness here couldn't have seen any shadowy figures on that curtain. No way! Perhaps it was the secret flames of the lanterns that cast the shadows you saw. I'm afraid not. I inspected them during my investigation, but flames are too small to cast the crisp, distinct figures Mr. Emus claims to have seen. But I did see those silhouettes, really? How? How could he, Nick? That's what I'm saying. Maybe he was someplace where they were visible. Wait, don't tell me. Your Majesty, this dude is a lying bastard. Mr. Emus really did see those shadows. It brings a brand new fact to light. He was on the east side. Brand new fact that comes to light if Mr. Emus really did see those shadows is he was somewhere else. He wasn't where he claimed to be at the time of the murder. Doot doot doot. Oh, and where do you propose the witness was? Oh god. Some place where he could have seen the shadow figures naturally. Good savior again. Don't want no game overs. Wait, you mean... None of the mountains east of the inner sanctum are close enough for a good view. That leaves only one place you could have clearly seen the shadows from. And where might that be? This is where Mr. Emus was at the time of the murder. The High Priest's home. No, he was at the inner sanctum. Mr. Emus was at the inner sanctum, just outside the curtain on the east side. And that's the only place from which he could have seen the shadowy figures. Whoa! Really? Wow, I didn't even think of that. Wasn't the inner sanctum off limits to all but the victim and the accused? And the third party who was there, you mean? I get the feeling that's a subject Prosecutor Samadi would rather not touch right now. Oh, you mean... That's right. This witness was at the scene of the crime, which means he is the mysterious third party we saw during the divination seance. He could be the one who dressed as Lady Kira and killed the High Priest. What are these noises this guy's making?
Objection!
No one but the two participants were allowed anywhere near the inner sanctum. Have we considered the possibility that this guy is just a Rule breaker? The only way up there are the stairs that start down at the Plaza of Devotion. Now tell me, why do you propose the witness enter that sacred space? He climbed? Because it's a mountain?
Sanctum has sheer cliffs on 3 sides and a steep, towering rock face on the other. No one could have made it there by climbing the faces of those cliffs.
Ah, this is where we go into the possibility that he came in from above with that parachute. Yeah? Yeah, it's all coming together. The gears are turning. His Majesty speaks true. To say Mr. Emus was at such an inaccessible location is but a bit to tarnish his credibility. Is that not right?
Alright, I wasn't at the inner sanctum. No sir, no how. At least I'm pretty sure I wasn't.
Hold it!
Then, what about the silhouettes you claim to have seen?
I'm starting to think I've been imagining things.
What? This is insane.
I know we can trust that lawyer. He's trying to frame the witness.
Peace, peace, I say.
This is impossible. Unless I can show how he got to the inner sanctum. Just looks like I'm trying to slander Mr. Emus. I believe in you, Nick. Rah rah, sis boom bah. Fight, fight, Phoenix Wright. Cheerleader Maya. This is what I needed. Just look at the accused. Has she no shame? What's your problem, lady? Phoenix Wright is very trustworthy, I'll have you know. Do they have a cheerleader costume DLC for Maya? Please, Maya, you're only making it worse. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but it's probably best to keep it to yourself for now.
I would advise the defense to think carefully before making any more sudden outbursts.
Yes, Your Majesty. I wasn't the bad guy before, I definitely am now. Now, Mr. Emus, I would like you to think back carefully before you testify next about where you were that night. I wasn't at the inner sanctum.
I was never at the inner sanctum, I tell you. How much I'm sure of, even with the fuzzy memory. Besides, it would have been impossible to get there in the first place. Boy, you lawyers sure are scary.
That's it? Guess it might have been impossible for him to get to the inner sanctum like he claims, but... Now will you desist in trying to frame this innocent witness?
That's right. Is it not time to end these cross-examinations?
No, it is never time. I will cross-examine until the day I die. A moment of desperation leads to 100 million years of torment. It means that for each moment a sinner spends struggling to deny their sins, 100 million years of torment are added to their time and hell. 100 million. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Koreanism is the strictest religion ever. And just so you know, you've already accrued 200 million extra years. Plus the 500 million they started with, that's 700 million years. Religion sucks, why would you follow it? I know, right? But I guess you'd be surprised at what being born in a religion, let alone a theocracy, would do to you. Sure, what's another 200 million, give or take? You know, at this point, if you're making it this long, 200 million, 100 million, whatever, just make it functionally infinite, like the Christian hell, you know? People still follow that religion. Well, it's a big deal to me. Can't keep saying that the witness was there at the inner sanctum. I still can't prove it. Problem is, how am I going to do that? How will I indeed? Find out next time on The Hot Streams. Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. Where we will uncover this hairy mess of a man. Perhaps give him a shave. A new hairdo. Thank you, Niv. And you too. Goes for the rest of you. Thank you all for watching. You enjoyed tonight's stream as much as I did. I'll be back on the usual days. So look forward to it. Until then, have a great rest of your night. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be well. All that good stuff. We'll see you all later. Oh, good night, Zaya. Boom, boom, boom.